Hi everybody, welcome to this Jewel of the Soul reading for the week of January 8th. Out here on a beautiful winter's day here in New Hampshire, just feeling really fresh. This feels like fresh energy this week, and I also mean that as fresh like you would discipline a, child. Where we might get a little like with people. So our symbol, I'm going to keep it short because it's cold out here and I'm hoping my nose doesn't drip out of control. Our symbol this week is Gemini 5. So we're really active in the mind, and it's a little bit of an unevolved symbol, being at the beginning of the degree points. So we're really like fresh in the mind. Lots of curiosity flowing through the mind, not always paying attention to what comes out. And that, my friends, is natural flow this week. So don't question it, okay? Even if you sound a little sassy, let it go. Let it out, okay? Here's the symbol, a revolutionary magazine asking for action. So there's going to be some stuff that comes up for you this week. I feel like the energy is speaking up, saying, no, I don't know if I'm okay with that, or no, this is what I think. And being okay with speaking up, okay? So let's just get right into it. I'm going to try to keep this to a shorter reading. The first card, if you chose this one, this is from the Life Purpose deck by Doreen Virtue. And we have flowers coming up. So when I say we got sassy this week, it isn't necessarily that we're, offensive, I want to say, or that we're trying to be something we're not, or, that we're speaking out of turn. It can be gentler than that too. Don't forget, it's not always masculine energy of when we consider the word sassy or outspoken. It's not always masculine. It can be in the feminine sense too, of bringing a gentleness to that. So the flowers card reads, working with flowers opens your heart and brings blessings to others through your life purpose. I'll let you look at the image a little bit more. Hopefully you can see that without glare. And the crystal that comes through is one of my newer crystals that I haven't used a lot. And it's from my fire team, so this shows me passion, but in a very flowing kind of a way, because this is, I know it as the name Riverbed. And it's like there's constant creative flow that is coming through. But it's very solid. This is like bedrock. It's like we're walking in a stream and there's these beautiful smooth stones under our feet. And they create a really strong, foundation on which to walk, and they're saying it's safe for you to explore. But I'm more getting the idea of creative flow. Like, consider a little small stream with these beautiful pebbles in it, and you're just walking along and allowing to flow whatever will flow. And the flowers card, this deck can be a little hard to read because I don't often take it as literal. So the meaning that I'm getting out of this is about creation through color and creation through rearrangement of things. Consider, we get fresh energy, like I talked about before, when we rearrange sometimes our house, sometimes just rearranging the furniture in a room. We get the same feeling when we rearrange our schedule, when all of a sudden we start to do things totally different. Just for this week, consider if you could totally switch it up, because that idea of arrangement when it comes to flowers is what is zinging for me. Consider if you flip-flop your day. Consider if at night, if you're always a dessert eater, eat dessert first. Consider having something really savory and perhaps a little heavier for breakfast versus our tendency to have kind of lighter meals in the morning. Maybe you do have, the leftover hamburger in the fridge. Maybe you do have the mac and cheese that's in the fridge. Maybe, it's like taking everything and flip-flopping it, because that creates fresh energy from which to work. It's like everything feels new again. And there is benefit in exploring the new, in exploring the fresh. And it's really wanted for you this week. I can feel that. It wants to be like a peppermint patty moment of just like, woo! I never knew like it could be like this. It feels very, very good if you allow yourself to just try something different, okay? So for those of you that chose the middle card, this is the Flower Therapy deck by Doreen Virtue. Let me put this crystal down. And you have the Purification card, the White Rose. Beautiful. I have not pulled this card in a long time. By purifying your life of negative people, places, and experiences, you attain true peace. All right. Time for cleanup this week. So remember, our symbol is Gemini 5, a revolutionary magazine asking for action. So what's revolutionary for you this month, this feels very Uranian in energy, is really a blasting through of saying what you, how does that go? Say what you mean and mean what you say. Really getting true to yourself about how you feel about other people, how you want to structure things around other people, because that's the fresh energy of the week. It's like, and beginning of the year is always like this, it's the ability to reset everything as much as you wish to, that you can make a choice all of a sudden that, you know what, I don't think I want to do this anymore. I don't think I want this relationship anymore. Or I think I want to go after this relationship. It feels like relationships here for you folks. I think I want to go after, like I'm really intrigued by this person that I have just met or that I've heard about from these other people. And by the way, that can also be book authors is coming up. So it can be people that somebody recommends that you look into this author, and that is very, very healthy for you this week. Picking up a brand new perspective, which book authors in particular, or it could be you're following somebody new on YouTube. If video speaks to you more than reading, it could be a style of music that you're going to look into. It certainly could be a type of activity, but it feels more like relating to another person and doesn't necessarily have to be in person. That's why I'm saying it could be an author or a YouTuber offering you a fresh perspective, because nothing lights us up quite like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize I could think about it like that. I know the biggest moments in my life have come from the people that I decided to start connecting with, first through video, and then in some cases I actually have met these people in person, and they have rocked my world. They have gotten me to this place that I couldn't have gotten there without them, and they're part of my journey, and they always will be part of my journey. And so, and it isn't a worship. I want to say that too. This is not a worship kind of energy. You're on equal plane with them. Really, there's no better than. There's, you're not looking up to them like, oh my gosh, you know so much and I know nothing. No, don't do that. You're selling yourself short. You're giving up all your power. Stop it. Don't do that. This is you seeing yourself as standing right beside them, and just basking in the idea of looking at something in a new way. And then you take that idea and you make it your own, which is special in itself, okay? So really in a week of getting clear, because that's what I get with this white rose. It's about real clarity. There is no murkiness. this week. And trust that, okay? Trust where your instincts lead you. All right, for those that, oh, sorry, I need to, purification. You have the fuchsite. So this is called Crystal Cave. And this is from my air team. So it's about your thoughts. It's about your mental capacity. And this is going, it's hermit-like energy. Hermit from the tarot. It is you going within, and really do take some quiet time for yourself this week, because in order to get that clarity of the purification, the white rose, we need to take the time to get clear ourselves. And that also, that's where the book stuff comes in. The book, it could be a movie, or YouTube. For some reason that keeps coming up. Take the time to delve into that book, to listen to those videos. I'm going to say for me, I mean, Jill Renee Feeler, she's absolutely somebody that totally broke me into a whole new level of myself. Definitely, I'm very grateful to her. Matt Kahn is another one I recommend if you're into the spiritual thing. Totally rocked my world in how to think about some things. So you'll just be led to these people. Certain people, Elizabeth Gilbert, love her books. Just trust, but take the time. That's what Fuchsia is saying for yourself to get clear. Okay, now we're on to card 3. This is Messages from Your Animal Spirit Guides by Stephen Farmer. And you have the penguin. Penguin energy for you. Perfect day for penguins here in New Hampshire. It's mighty cold. The period of darkness that you've been experiencing is now passing. And all I can see in this card is all the color around that beautiful bird. There's pinks and purples and blues and greens. It's like, it reminds me of the aura photos. And for you, we have the amethyst. Got stuck to my chair. The amethyst, which is I call this soul family because it's a whole cluster. And this is about divine inspiration and wisdom, and trusting in yourself to find the people that support you, and to know, I keep seeing this like as if I'm at this amazing trip that my family and I took to the Grand Canyon. And it's as if you're facing that sunrise. And you're seeing the world differently. Definitely, like the darkness being behind you, but I don't want you, I'm on a crusade. I don't want you to think of darkness as bad. We got to get out of this judging of this is good and that's bad, and it's all just experience. It's all just options. It's all showing us something. It's all showing up for a reason. And it is meaningful. I don't want you to look at it and say, oh, thank God that's done. Like maybe taking the time to look through whatever darkness has passed, in the past 6 months or so, maybe even the past year. And look at the gifts, because that's this amethyst soul family cluster. They're shining gems in your experience. And really taking the time to do that inventory and say to yourself, look at how much I've grown out of those moments. At the end of our life, we remember those times that were really, really hard. I have, thankfully, well, not thankfully, because they're big moments. I have a handful of them. I don't have a ton of them. But I will always remember those moments that were really hard and perhaps were out of character. Because again, I'm going back to this idea of a revolutionary magazine asking for action. These are parts of you where you weren't even acting like yourself. And that is okay, because it just shows another facet. It's all you and it's all good, but it's purposeful in looking at, okay, so that came out, and look at what that transpired then. Because people might have been like, holy shit, what is that person doing? What is she doing? That doesn't even sound like her. But know that everything, it comes up for a reason. And you may have been totally rocking their world, totally shifting things around, allowing them to consider for themselves more truly who they want to be and how they want to bring themselves to that situation. It almost feels like you need to give yourself the gift of recognizing that those moments were a true gift to these other people that you interacted with. When you were kind of sassy in the mouth, you were kind of like really out of character. That is a huge gift to these other people because it shifts them and it allows them to get more clear. And then that in turn helps you because they're bringing their authentic being to the situation. And sometimes that means that things end. Sometimes that means that there's a major shift. Sometimes that means there's a major rift for a while. And I'm just done with people thinking that that's a bad thing. Life changes and life moves on. It just keeps going. And those moments of change and upset in our life are particularly important crossroads when we discover for ourselves how we want to be, and others do too. That it's the most challenging part of human life is finding this sense of balance as we're communicating with other humans, because we're all on our own journey and there's many options and they're all available. I almost said they're all right, but I don't, I'm shifting, how I look at all that. They're all available. And it's not for one to judge what is the best or the right way for another person. You're not in their shoes. So give yourself the gift of recognizing when those dark moments have come, to begin to see them as these gems. And it's almost like you're looking back, because I'm seeing the sunrise at the Grand Canyon. That was a magical experience for me. If you ever can go, wow, it is so worth it to wake up early and get there. You're looking at sunnier times ahead, but there's value this week in looking back at what you've just passed through, that is purposeful and incredibly important in your development and those people that you interacted with. Okay? So there we go, everybody. I hope you have a revolutionary week. Like, bring in the Uranus energy, this like electric, rah, speak up and make the determinations for yourself, because there's just nothing better to shape-shift our world than when we bring that authentic self forward and really make some choices for ourselves, and others around us then, have to change course too and get comfortable with where we've decided to go in our lives. All right? Have a good week, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.